welcome to this week's angling blog. I hope your families are well, you're all staying safe and you're managing to get bankside and get a bend in the rod. So before we get into this week's vlog, I'd just like to thank everybody who left nice comments in last week's vlog, where we went in search of tench on the lovely Grimsditch Mill on the Limb Anglers card. And it really is appreciated when you log in and read those nice comments that you left. And on that note, if you do enjoy this week's vlog, please drop it a like, and if you are new around here, we do a new video 6 o'clock every Friday, and we have done for the last 3 years. So I hope you enjoy this week's vlog. So before we get onto the river and search for those chub and barbel, as always just lately, I'm loving them opportunistic sessions with me little lad. This week we went out with Abby's pink Matt Hayes rod in search of carp. So anyone who has gone out with these type of rods knows it's not the easiest task, and it took us a good while till we got the fish feeding underneath our feet, but we managed to hook one and get it on the bank. He really is loving the fishing at the moment, and it's great to see him loving being outside and catching those fish. One fish and we headed off home, happy anglers and smiling. So with a smile on my face from those sessions with me little lad, I headed off up the M6 towards the River Ribble in search of my first ever barbel from that river. And then you get out of the town into the hills and you're met with such beautiful scenery. Onto the stretch, a fantastic looking bit of water. So hello, and you join us on the banks of the River Ribble, and tonight we're in search of barbel, and what beautiful surroundings to do so in. Not the greatest for barbel, clear skies, and it might be until the evening until we get a bite, but no better place to be sat than by the river. The rods are in, and we'll go over the setup in a minute, and hopefully we can just pick up one barbel on the rods. Tactics for the session was to try and draw the fish from the shallower water below us. Involved regular casting. Every 15 minutes I was casting out a feeder full of that hinders Barbel bomb ground bait, in which there was the Cheshire particle hemp and the hinders elips pellets, and the rig simplicity itself, a bolt and run kit from Coram, a long length of 8-pound fluorocarbon, down to one of the brand new soon to be released hooks from Coram, the grappler, and on the band an 8 or a 10mm elips pellet. Simple tactics, but hoped over time I would draw the fish in. So the last 2 years on the channel has seen me doing a bit of barbel fishing, and I've enjoyed it that much that I've decided to pick up some dedicated barbel rods. The reel I'm going with is the Coram shadow reel, and on there I've got some 12-pound line. The rods, 2-pound test curve Coram barbel rods, and they are for covering conditions when there's a bit of extra flow on the river, and I'll be getting some more dedicated barbel rods in the next couple of weeks at 175. But it's just good to be out on the bank and hopefully we can get a bite. So if you're a regular to the channel, you'll know the polythene stays on the rods until they're christened. And right behind the swim we've got loads of sand martins just nesting in the bank. You can see them there just going into the holes in the bank. And being by the river, peace and quiet. Just got the cows for company. But the only one we've got to worry about in the whole herd is him, Mr. Bull. Sitting proud on the top of his bank, demands respect, and we'll most certainly give it him. And they are amazing creatures when you watch them, how they'll do that at the same time or the same time of day every day. You know, when they're going to be milked, or whether or the farmer's going to feed them down the bottom at the same time, but they will. Amazing creatures to watch at times. And that one does bode the question, are cows black with white patches, or are they white with black patches? Answers in the comments below what you think. The first fish of the session, with the sun just glinting off its gills. Let's let him go. So not ideal at the moment. Every time we're bringing the feeders in, obviously with the river low, it's full of this blanket weed, and making presentation really difficult. We've had that chub earlier on, and we're just moving now. That sun's just got over the yard arm a little bit, and there's certainly a lot more fish topping. And if we're going to get one in the hours to come, I think it's going to be the time. But there is a bit more activity on the water and around the swim. In surroundings like this, sometimes it's just nice to be bankside. So I just had one fall off on the way in, and that's a lovely dace, I think it is. The second fish of the evening, and the start, hopefully, of a few bites. And during lockdown, I think this is what I missed the most. Them evenings on the bank, just peace, quiet. The rods are out, and it's just you and the river, the wildlife, and everything's just slowing down into the evening. And fingers crossed, it'll accelerate soon with a barbel. And there we go, the best fish so far, just coming on that pellet. Lovely bronze flanks of a chub. We've had that dace and that small chublet earlier, and that's come probably 5 minutes after that dace. So hopefully, as that sun's going over the yard arm, the bites will improve and we'll start picking up more of these. Maybe, if we're lucky, Mr. Barbel. Let's get it straight back. And there we go, another small little chublet. And some sessions, you know, we've not had a barbel yet, but some sessions it's about working places out. So although we've not had any barbel this evening yet, some sessions are not wasted if you don't get them. For example, tonight we've had them dace and these small chublets, and I'll definitely be back on the float rod. As I say, not every session is a wasted one. Sometimes you work things out to attack venues in a different way. And the river is just alive with a fly hatch, and that could be why the barbel fishing is so hard. If you think about it, all that food in the river at the moment, and for 3 months they haven't seen pellets, they've not seen hemp, they've not seen any of them baits that we try and catch barbel with. But the river is full of natural food, and it could be why a few of the rivers are struggling. The fact that them fish for 3 months have been eating that food, trying to get them onto other baits can be difficult. But right now it's like the river is just raining, and that is just flies hatching all the way across. So that far bank rod again, just a couple of taps. I think it's another chub. I think it's a barbel. In fact, I know it's not a barbel, it's coming in too easy. It does feel a slightly better fish. Go, it's not quite Mr. Barbel, but £4, 10 ounces, and a lovely chub, more than made up, and a great result coming out to the River Ribble. Not quite a PB, going to be coming back here on the float at some point definitely, and we'll have a go on the float and maggots. But for now, an excellent result, a lovely brassy chub, the sun going down in the background. Let's get cast back in and see if we can get another. So right on last knock-ins, the rod has hooped over and feels a decent fish. Don't know what it is, but obviously decent bend in the rod. Just take me time and try and get it in. And there we go, £6, 10 ounces, and a lovely first ever River Ribble Barbel, proper made up, coming right at the end of the session. And I think we'll be reeling the rods in now and making our way home, but more than made up. £6, 10 ounces, and that £4, 10 ounce chub. What a session, proper made up. Let's get it straight back in the edge to recover and let it go. As I always say, with barbel, great fun to catch, but always give them plenty of time to rest in the margin. Make sure they're right before they go back. They give everything in the fight, and you know, leave them there until they're ready. You can see its gills ticking over, but nowhere near ready to go back. I'm going to stay here as long as it takes until it's ready. It's time for this guy to go back. The first one of hopefully many, and that's how they should go off. Nice and strong. Thank you very much. What we'll do is we'll leave the vlog here now. I want to thank you all for watching. Tight lines in your own fishing. It's been a good journey today, a new adventure, and I'll catch us all next time. And I'll put a picture at the end of the wrapping coming off the rod. And there we go. One rod christened, the sleeve off, and let's hope it's just as lucky for that one. Stay safe, and I'll catch us all next week.